In the ancient forests of New Zealand, a bird unlike any other moves through the undergrowth. Meet the kākāpō, the world's only flightless parrot, a living relic of an island ecosystem that evolved in splendid isolation. Known to Māori as the night parrot, the kākāpō is a large, moss-green bird with a distinctive owl-like face, broad facial disc, forward-facing eyes, and fine whisker-like feathers framing its beak. Males can weigh up to 4 kilograms, making this the heaviest parrot species on Earth, while females are smaller, typically 1 to 2.5 kilograms. Its wings, though present, are short and rounded, useless for sustained flight. Instead, the kākāpō relies on strong legs for waddling long distances across the forest floor, and it climbs trees with surprising agility, using its beak and feet to haul itself upward before gliding or parachuting back down with outstretched wings for balance. This is a nocturnal creature, emerging under cover of darkness to forage. By day, it roosts quietly on the ground or in low vegetation, blending perfectly with the mosses and ferns thanks to its finely mottled plumage, a perfect camouflage in the dappled light of podocarp forests. The kākāpō's sense of smell is unusually keen for a parrot, helping it locate ripe fruit, seeds, leaves, buds, pollen, and even bark in the dark. Its diet is almost entirely plant-based, and it plays a quiet but important role as a seed disperser in its native habitats. But what truly sets the kākāpō apart is its extraordinary life history. This bird may live for 60 to 90 years, perhaps longer, or one of the longest lifespans among avian species. It matures slowly. Males often don't begin serious breeding efforts until their teens, females a little earlier but still late by most bird standards. Reproduction is tied to the rhythms of the forest itself. Kākāpō breed only in mast years, when certain native trees, especially the rimu conifer, produce an abundance of fruit. These masting events occur irregularly, every 2 to 5 years, and the birds time their cycles accordingly. In non-mast years, breeding simply doesn't happen. When conditions align, the forest comes alive with one of nature's strangest courtship spectacles. Each breeding season begins with the males establishing individual territories known as leks, small, bowl-shaped depressions scraped into the ground on ridges or hillsides. These bowls act as natural amplifiers. From dusk until well into the night, sometimes for 6 to 8 hours at a stretch over months, the male inflates a thoracic sac in his chest and produces a deep, resonant boom, a low-frequency sound that carries kilometers through the forest. The booming is punctuated by metallic, wheezing, chinging calls, creating a bizarre, otherworldly symphony. Females wander between the leks, listening and choosing a mate based on the quality and persistence of his performance. This is lek-breeding at its most extreme, the only parrot in the world to use this system, and males provide no parental care afterward. Mating is brief, and the female raises the offspring alone. A successful female may lay 1 to 5 eggs in a nest hidden among roots, rocks, or dense vegetation. Incubation lasts about 30 days, and chicks hatch covered in soft white down. For the first few months, the mother feeds them a nutritious mash of rimu fruit pulp and other plant matter. Survival rates vary dramatically depending on food availability. In poor years, few or none fledge, but in exceptional mast years, dozens of chicks can make it to independence. This boom-and-bust reproductive strategy has kept the species in tune with its unpredictable environment for millions of years. Yet that same strategy nearly doomed the kākāpō. When Polynesian voyagers arrived in Aotearoa around 1,000 years ago, they brought Kiore, the Pacific rat which preyed on eggs and chicks. European settlers followed in the 18th and 19th centuries, introducing cats, stoats, ferrets, and dogs, along with habitat destruction through logging and land clearance. The kākāpō, ground-dwelling, trusting, and slow to reproduce, had no defenses against these relentless mammalian predators. Once widespread across both North and South Islands, the species vanished from the mainland. By the late 20th century, only a handful remained on Stewart Island of Ricura, and the total population plunged to around 50 individuals in the mid-1990s, with just 20 females among them. Extinction seemed inevitable. But the kākāpō became the focus of one of the most intensive and innovative conservation programs on Earth. In the 1980s and 1990s, the remaining birds were painstakingly located and transferred to predator-free offshore islands, Codfish Island Wenua-hu, Anchor Island, Little Barrier Island Hauturu, and later others. There, under the watchful eye of the Kākāpō Recovery Program, a collaboration between the Department of Conservation, Ngāi Tahu Iwi, scientists, rangers, and volunteers, every individual is named, tagged, monitored, and managed. Each bird has a radio transmitter or, more recently, tiny GPS trackers. Teams conduct regular health checks, provide supplementary food during lean times, and even artificially inseminate some females to boost genetic diversity and overcome low fertility issues stemming from the population bottleneck. Genetic studies reveal that today's Kākāpō descend from a tiny founding group, including one key mainland male whose genes persist in many individuals. Inbreeding depression has caused problems like poor sperm quality and low hatching success, but careful pairing decisions and emerging technologies are helping mitigate these challenges. The results have been remarkable. From a low of 51 birds in 1995, the population has grown steadily through successful breeding seasons in years like 2002, 2009, 2016, 2019, and 2022. By the early 2020s, numbers exceeded 250 for the first time in decades. As of 2026, the total stands at around 236 known living individuals, everyone precious, everyone monitored. In 2023, a historic milestone occurred. A small group was reintroduced to the mainland at Sanctuary Mountain Maungatautari, a predator-proof sanctuary, marking the first time in nearly 40 years that Kākāpō have lived on New Zealand's main islands. Yet the journey is far from over. The species remains critically endangered. Finding new predator-free habitats is essential as the population grows. Overcrowding on small islands can lead to resource competition and disease risks. Climate change threatens the reliability of massed events, and diseases like those caused by soil bacteria have taken lives in the past. Each breeding season is a gamble, but when the remove fruits heavily as predicted for some recent cycles, hope surges anew. In 2026, with high fruiting levels forecast across key islands, conservationists anticipate one of the most productive seasons in decades, potentially pushing the population toward 300 for the first time. The Kākāpō is more than a bird, it is a symbol of resilience, a taonga treasured by Māori, and a testament to human determination. In its slow, deliberate way, it embodies the deep time of New Zealand's natural history, a time before mammals dominated, when birds ruled the land. Its booming call, echoing through misty forests, is a reminder of what can be saved when science, culture, and commitment align. As the sun sets over Wenua-hu or Anchor Island, a male Kākāpō settles into his bowl. He inflates his chest, and the low boom begins, ancient, persistent, full of quiet defiance. In the darkness, a female listens. Life continues. And for this strangest of parrots, against all odds, the future still holds the promise of more nights, more booms, more generations walking the forest floor.